What's up, Earth Gamers? Today, we're starting a new series on Season 2 with a look at the top performing weapons at the moment. This episode will look at ARs, SMGs, and LMGs. Then in our next episode, we'll look at how pistols and shotguns have changed. Followed by the snipers and marksman rifles, where I will also look at some new stats like bullet velocity, which are going to make a big difference in the giant battle royale map we're about to have. Quickly though, a new update was pushed to our Hey Potato Modern Warfare Assistant app. The good old day one patch should be fixing some bugs.
And this one's not a 100 gigabyte download.
Fix that, sorry. We also added in all the akimbo attachments, the new Uzi attachment, the Striker 45 hollow mag changes, a bunch of ranges for shotguns, and more. Over 500 of you have downloaded it over the weekend and have been giving us some great feedback, but we hear there's 2 or 3 of you that can't get it to work on your phones. If that's still the case after today's update, please send me an email or message me on Discord and we'll figure out why. The links for the app are down below. Let's check this list out. First, let's start with the LMGs. They've been nerfed, then some buffed, then probably nerfed and buffed again. Well, we retested everything this week, so let's start at number 5. We're going to list these going towards the fastest headshot TTK, which is the most optimal time to kill for any weapon. But I'll also show you the chest time to kill and what the max range is for those numbers. Here, we have the M91 with a TTK of 0.182 seconds for headshots and chest shots. It has some really good range, able to keep that headshot TTK up to any range, but the chest TTK will drop after 45 meters. One thing to take into consideration with the M91 is a first shot trigger delay. As some of you have pointed out, several weapons do have an initial delay when firing the first bullet. We looked into it frame by frame at max frame rates, and this will in fact delay the start of a firing animation, and the first hit marker appears later than it should on the enemy. The M91 has a trigger delay of 0.138 seconds, so keep that in mind, particularly for close quarters. At number 4 is the Holger 26. It has a 0.16 second headshot TTK, but its chest TTK is 0.24 seconds. Besides that though, it does drop down its headshot TTK at 65 meters and the chest at 45. Now moving on to number 3. Here we have the PKM with a TTK of 0.16 seconds for headshots and chest shots. It has some really good range, able to keep the headshot TTK up to any range and the chest up to 40 meters. It also has a firing delay, but this time a little shorter at 0.115 seconds. At number 2 is the MG34 with a 0.14 headshot and chest shot TTK. This one, like the PKM and M91, has a delay and that same headshot TTK up to any range, with the chest dropping off at 32.5 meters though. The delay on it is a little shorter too, at 0.110 seconds. Finally, at number 1 is a recently buffed LMG, the SA-87. The SA has an impressive 0.1 second TTK for headshots, but 0.2 seconds for chest shots. The headshot TTK goes all the way up to 50 meters though, while the chest shot TTK actually handles that at any range. Well, that's it for the LMG fans. By the way, today's video is exactly what you'll be able to do yourself in the app very soon with even more option. The new feature we're testing out in our beta program on Patreon will let you check out all the top weapons, but you'll be able to create your own custom list from any range you want, one or more multiple classes, and any of the stats to compare, with a lot more stats on the way too. Let's look at the ARs next. Here, at number 5, we have the AK-47 with a 0.107 second TTK for headshots and 0.214 seconds for chest shots. It keeps that damage at every range it can handle. At number 4, we have the SCAR. It has a 0.105 second TTK for headshots, but 0.11 for chest shots. It retains that solid headshot TTK for any range, but chest shots will drop after 32.5 meters. At number 3 is the M4 with the SOCOM rounds. These have a headshot TTK of just 0.1 seconds and chest TTK of 0.2 seconds. The range is pretty insane too, as it holds up to any range it can handle. At number 2 is the AK-47 again, but this time with the newly buffed 549 rounds, which give it a 0.091 second TTK up to 25.5 meters. Not as much as the regular AK, and you still get that recoil, but it's a beast regardless up close. The chest TTK is 0.182 seconds, but only up to 17.5 meters here. Finally, at number 1 is the FAMAS. Its burst fire fires extremely quickly and only needs 2 bullets to kill to the head at any range. That gives it a headshot TTK of 0.48 seconds and 0.96 for chest shots. The The chest shots though will drop off after 32.5 meters, and then you'll have to wait even longer with the burst delay it has. The FAMAS will be really interesting to look at bullet velocity considering it has that TTK at any range. Finally, let's look at everyone's favorites, the SMGs. At number 5, we have the Uzi. The Uzi has a headshot TTK of 0.102 seconds and a chest TTK of 0.203 seconds. Normally, both will drop off at 15 meters, but if you use the new 41 rounds, that will bump up to 17.5 meters. The Uzi does have a trigger delay though, of 0.114 seconds like the LMGs, so keep that in mind for the close quarters engagements. At number 4 is the new Striker 45. It has a TTK of 0.1 seconds for headshots and 0.2 seconds for chest shots. It can hold both of those up to a really solid 22.5 meters. But if you add the hollow point burst attachment, it can go up to 35 meters for a 2-burst headshot, and actually, it can do a 2-burst to the chest now as well, up to 17.5 meters. Those positives might actually make it number 1, but there are 3 other faster headshot TTKs, which is how we're looking at this list, though there are dozens of ways to compare. At number 3, we have the PP-19 Bizon. The Bizon has a headshot TTK of 0.092 seconds and a chest TTK of 0.185 seconds, but the drop-off for both of these is pretty early on at 15 meters. Next, at number 2 is the AUG with the 5.56 rounds, which has a headshot TTK of 0.091 seconds and a chest TTK of 0.182 seconds. While the ammo conversion here does help with the range further down, it doesn't up close, so it will still drop this TTK at 12.5 meters. And finally, at number 1 is the AUG again, but this time with no attachments, just the stock version, which has a headshot TTK of 0.08 seconds and a chest TTK of 0.16 seconds. Same as the other AUG though, it only holds that TTK up to 12.5 meters. Okay, obviously there's a ton more weapons and attachment variations, but that's just the top 5 for each of these weapon classes. Of course, you'll be able to see all of them in the app, otherwise going through all of them would probably take 30 or 40 minutes. Now, let's recap with the top 10 and talk about how to use these a little bit. At number 10, the SCAR with 0.105 second TTK. At number 9, the Uzi with 0.102. Sharing 6th, 7th, and 8th are the Striker 45, SA87, and the M4A1 with SOCOM rounds, all at 0.1 second TTK. At number 5, the PP Bizon with 0.092 second TTK. Sharing 3rd and 4th are the AK with the new Buff 549 rounds at 0.091 seconds and the AUG with the 5.56 rounds. At number 2, the standard AUG at 0.08 second TTK. And at number 1, the FAMAS at 0.048 second TTK that doesn't seem to drop off on any range. Well, some of these I rarely see anyone using like the Uzi or FAMAS, but I do see a lot of people are rocking the AUG and Bizon lately. The SA87 was really easy to get gold and should be a good time to do so for anyone right now. I love the FAMAS, it's personally my favorite AR. Stick the sniper barrel on it to kill people in 0.96 seconds from even further away, just aim for the upper chest. I've been running around with the shotgun underbarrel too for close quarters, which is really solid too on this gun. For the AUG and Bizon, I definitely say max out the range and ADS speed for attachments. Otherwise, if you're rocking the AK or SCAR, which are pretty great, you can focus in more on the recoil attachments and better ADS speeds. Well, those are the top ARs, SMGs, and LMGs at the moment. We're going to take a look at the pistols, then shotguns in lots of details before taking a look at individual stats like movement speed, bullet velocity, and recoil. Check out the app if you haven't yet, and we'll see you again soon. Arcade out.